Hey.
Where are you? To the south side. Did you start climbing that yet?
We set out that fateful day, and little did we know of the pain and suffering that awaited us. I brought a video camera, which is useful for many purposes. You can record your last will and testament, you can record last words for your loved ones, and you can review the recording of the vantage point of the mountain when you set out, when you're lost late in the day and trying to find the trail that you came up on. Except by that time we were too delirious. We couldn't stop walking even for a minute to review the recording, thinking that it would take too long. Even though I knew it wouldn't, we weren't thinking clearly at that point. And yet, we set out with such optimism. We gained wisdom the hard way that day. We learned a motto: what doesn't kill you just hurts really bad. Dieter motivated us with the saying, pain is just weakness leaving the body. Somehow, on the way back, we would miss this descent and end up way off on the other side of the mountain, several ravines over. We walked for hours trying to traverse each ravine to find our way back to the trail. After a full day of fun, this would be the real icing on the cake. These little tent sites, surrounded by rock walls, were found at various places up the mountain. This is at the level of the lunch counter, which is about halfway up the mountain. This is where Jory and Samantha would be stranded and have to spend the night. As standard treatment for hypothermia, it was suggested that Jory and Samantha should take off all their clothes and get in a sleeping bag together. After all, Jory reasoned that this was biblical, as Abishag the Shunammite had warned King David. Actually not, but it makes for an interesting dilemma. On the way back, we would make it down this far successfully before somehow going off the trail. We also would pass Jory and Samantha, who were trying to get warm somewhere in this area.
I kept wanting to cross, but every time I tried to cross, it'd sink down to my crotch.
Because the heat of the rocks is
Yeah.
softening the snow right here.
Yeah, I suppose if I jumped out,
Yeah, you might get some
I
harder
might
stuff.
hit some.
That's right.
Yeah, I gotta rehydrate and eat something. Yeah, I just hit that soft snow down here and I said, I can't do this. So, the rock climbing was good for a while, but after a while, caught up with me.
Well, it gives your upper body a chance to get a workout.
Yeah, I suppose.
Otherwise, it's just pretty much lower body.
Almost like you keep climbing on here. I don't feel as tired as if I was going in the snow. I do need a break though.
It seemed that most people carried their own skis up the mountain, and we even saw one man carrying 2 pairs of skis for different snow conditions. The more primitive method of sliding down on a piece of plastic is not as fun as it looks, because small pieces of ice bruise your underside on the way down. This is where the climbing really began to get difficult. The snow would sometimes give way, causing your feet to sink. Later in the day, when I slid down a slope so steep I could not prevent myself from sliding, I dug my heels in as hard as I could, and I loosed a large volume of snow, which made a sort of river of snow, a small avalanche, on which I rode to the bottom. It was so hard at this point, we had to rest every few steps just to breathe.
Muscles and tendons or something like that. It's really good stuff. I use it when I weightlift, and it works great. What's that called? It's Bayer muscle and back, I think, is what it's called.
This is where we stopped, at the false summit. We felt we could go no further, but above us was the true summit.
Oh, I should take some pictures while I'm up here too, I guess. Change my film. I know I'm going to take a picture of that from the uphill side that we just came up.
Yeah, and don't forget a picture of St. Helens from here. Nice view.
Okay.
This is all you're doing, dear.
Yeah, it's your fault, Dieter.
You're the one who instigated this whole thing.
And isn't it wonderful?
Troublemaker.
Okay. All right. We have arrived.
Yeah. Well, I gotta sit down.
Congratulations, gentlemen. You are now a members of this private organization.
Yeah.
Secret society.
Well, it's not so secret. Anybody can join, but you got to come up from there.
Yeah, anybody can do it.
This rock was struck by lightning.
I wonder if I sit on that rock if it'll get struck by lightning again.
It is enough, O Lord. Take my life, for I am not better than my father. Somehow, in sliding down, we went way too far off to the right there, down this other ravine.
This will be my picture of where we didn't go.
Hey Dad, Hiker's Peak.
This must be a 36 roll, because I still have, I'm on 26, and I thought my daughter gave me 24. Did you see the rock struck by lightning?
No way.
Right here. It has a thing. Did you see there's an inscription on it over on this side? I figured maybe if I lay here and get struck by lightning again, I don't have to go down that hill.
This is how I breathed when I was resting. When I was walking, it was much harder. Somewhere up here is where Samantha wiped out and lost her shoe. By comparison, Mount St. Helens seems mild.
That's what we need, rubber.
Now we enjoy the fruits of our labor.
Well, we'll see whether you enjoy it. Or if you do a face plant, you know, we'll reconsider that statement.
That is the good one.
See at the bottom.
You tie it like a diaper or something.
Oh, look, yeah. We'll try it.
Luckily, this still is soft enough right now that can't get too out of control.
Later, Sam would go down a slope much steeper than this, and after he reached a certain velocity, he released his superpowers, and he went on his belly, like flying, until he crashed at the bottom. We managed to get ourselves very lost, to the point where we weren't thinking clearly. We even came across the trail, walked over the trail, saw the footprints, saw a trail marking, and didn't realize it was the trail, and would have kept on going, for hours perhaps. Only when we stopped to pray were we delivered. Soon as Sam prayed and Dieter said amen, another man came down the trail, and we'd asked him where the trail led, and he told us to the south trailhead. Otherwise, we would have gone on into the night and suffered much more than we already did. But even we had it much easier than Jory and Samantha, who were stranded up here all night. Emergency workers helped them with tent and sleeping bags, and in the morning brought them shoes and clothes so they could descend the mountain.
That was great. That sure beats climbing up here, doesn't it?
It's a different kind of pain.
It's like you walk twice when you're walking on snow, because your foot slips, or my foot would go through the snow. You know, the girls and young guys do fine because they don't weigh anything, but I weighed 250 pounds, and then I had a 50-pound backpack, you know, and you'd take... I climbed up right before the Falls Peak, there's a rock area, so I was climbing up through the rocks, but Keith and Dieter kept getting ahead of me, so I figured that's not working very good. So, and then I was getting really tired, because when you're climbing through rocks you have to use your arms and your legs. Right. Where going the other way you're just using your legs, so kind of expends the energy really fast.
Yeah, I was going on the rocks, and then I looked up and I saw Sam, and he said, "Oh yeah, it's loose rocks, you might..." I'm like, okay, I'm leaving.
Yeah.
So I got out of there. It was kind of dangerous on those rocks.
Not very safe to climb through boulder fields, but...
The rescue person said that the last time they were up here, they were rescuing a girl who had been, a boulder went right to her chest. Barely got her out.
By yourself. You have to spend a better sense of direction.
And we had a crane out
well,
there,
not the
and two
dark
of us had to get down on this boulder field and cable rock.
Yeah, we were like, Jory can take care of himself.
I think they got down before we did. We were still up there when they got down to lunch counter.
No, you guys were in the parking lot, and they were at the lunch counter.
Right, but if they had gone down immediately, they would have beat us down.
Oh, I mean when they were, yeah. So I don't know.
I had to dig for the shoe, looking for the shoes.
Dig?
So, because at that time they still didn't have the...
It was ironic that so much difficulty could come from so small an obstacle.
Just focus and shoot, so you have to make the prism.
I had thought to go for an enjoyable day hike, but Dieter had another idea. He called it pushing the limits and mind over matter. While to me it seemed more symptomatic of losing one's mind.